Steve Jobs, where he says you hire good people so they can tell you what to do. You don't hire people so you can tell them what to do, right?
Yeah, and they get a lot of flexibility. I mean, I tell clients even on the discovery calls, like, hey, it might take 3 weeks for us to design you a logo, 4 weeks, depending on the size. Obviously, if you're a board of directors, that takes a lot longer. But if a designer asks for an extra week because they came up with a concept last minute that they really wanted to show, I'll give it to them. Like, hey, just it might be an extra week past the scope. Just obviously depending on their sense of urgency, but like I give them flexibility. I don't want their talents to be wasted, especially if they have a chance to design something awesome.
And you want to see, man, is they're asking for a week? Is it really going to be this good, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I can see why you do that. What's the biggest thing that you look for in interviews that you think other people overlook, or that maybe you overlooked in the beginning?
There's two things. I mean, if we're talking in the design world, the only thing I'm looking at is portfolio first, right? Like, and I know that sounds crazy. Like, I don't care about communication. I don't care about being on time. I don't care about your price. I care about your portfolio first. If your designs are generic, they look like everybody else's, they're not good, they're using colors that don't match, simple things, I'm not going to even go further with you, right? Now, outside of the design world, my biggest thing would be communication. Are they good on the phone? Are they good talking to you? Are they different from everybody else, right? And I think that goes with any job of the communication has to be there, and that's the second thing I look for after the portfolio is like, okay, you do good work. Funny enough, price is the last thing I look at. I'll pay you whatever if you're good enough. I mean, that's what I want. But then it's communication. Like, hey, are you good at sending video calls? Are you good at talking over the phone? You know, um, if I ask for something, is it 1 week before I hear from you, or 24 hours, or 48 hours? Like, what's comfortable for you, right? And if they say it's 1 week, I appreciate them being honest, right? And depending on what the design is, I may be like, okay, cool, or I may be like, no, that's not going to work. But I look for the communication side too. And I'm going to add to that real quick. So I think, and my belief is that depending on your industry, right? Like, obviously, if you're a doctor, you can't just go hire someone who's no doctor skill and teach them everything. But I think a lot of industries, like, if you find someone with good communication that will be loyal to your company, then teach them everything you know, and then they won't leave you. They don't have to know everything about your industry to for you to hire them, right? If you teach them and you build that loyalty and communication, you're going to have in the long run a lot better employee, or someone working for you than you know not, in my opinion.
I heard a lot of manager friends of mine, getting up into our age group. A lot of the a lot of friends of mine are in manager positions now and doing some hiring, and some of them take risks on the college students coming out of college, maybe coming out of their first job or something like that. And how do you know when to invest in those younger generation? And some of them were kind of afraid, man, I teach them everything I know, then they just go open up their own thing and they're good. Well, it depends on your industry, right? But how do you feel like when they're worthwhile to invest in all that time into?
Yeah. I heard you say that, they go up and do their own thing. We're actually not against that. A lot of the designers that we work with, we encourage them, hey, if you need help with a client of your own, you have access to our assets. Like, you have access to our templates, our proposals, like, make it your own. But like, we want you to go out on your own, right? I believe in karma. I believe that what goes around comes around, what you sow, what you reap. So I have no problem with that. As far as the college, I don't actually look at that anymore. I don't want to know. I don't want to know if they went to college or not, because I'm under the impression a lot of times that if you've gone to college, you're going to be more difficult to work with than if you didn't, right? Design is learned, but most of the time it's either you have it or you don't, and you have it before you go to college. If you can draw, if you can make things and you're good at it, all I got to do is teach you Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. I mean, that's it, right? If you can learn those two things, which you don't have to go to college for, I can teach you, okay, proper design styles, like how to set it up, this, that, and the other. That's fine. But a lot of these people we hire don't go to college. And if they did, they're no longer looking for freelance opportunity. They're looking for a full-time job, which we're just not going to give, right? Because that's what they've been conditioned to learn. Got to go get a job. Got to go get a job. You don't, right? There are agencies all over the U.S., especially today, that will hire you if you're good, So I would personally say, and again, this depends on the industry. I'm talking specifically design. I wouldn't worry too much about college. If anything, if someone says they're not in college but their communication skills are out of this world, give them a shot. You're not going to find someone that's not on their phone all the time. So like, it's just you got to have a good gut feeling with it.